You're sitting there, minding your own business, and then you feel it. A paw, placed deliberately, gently on your leg, your arm, your hand, and you look down, and your dog is staring at you, completely still, like they're waiting for something. You probably patted them, said something soft, and went back to what you were doing. But here's what almost every dog owner in the world gets wrong about that moment. Your dog wasn't just asking for attention. They weren't being needy, and they definitely weren't doing it out of habit or boredom. That paw meant something specific, something your dog has been trying to communicate to you every single time they do it. And once you understand what it really means, you will never brush it off again. Stay until the end. Because the last point reveals something about this behavior that most owners only understand when it's too late. 1. It was never about getting your attention. It was about giving you something. This is where almost every owner gets it backwards. The natural assumption is simple. Dog wants attention. Dog puts paw on you. You give attention. Transaction complete. But that explanation misses everything that's actually happening. Think about what your dog is doing physically in that moment. They are lifting one of their paws, one of the 4 points of contact that keep them stable and grounded, and placing it on you, deliberately, carefully, and holding it there. In the dog world, touch is not casual. Dogs don't make physical contact randomly. Every deliberate touch carries intention. When your dog puts their paw on you, they are not taking something. They are giving something. They are offering contact, initiating connection, reaching out in the only physical way they know how. It is the dog equivalent of a human placing their hand on someone's arm, not grabbing, not demanding, just reaching, offering, being present. Your dog is not saying, "Give me something." Your dog is saying, "I'm here, I'm with you, do you feel me?" 2. That paw triggers something real inside your body, and your dog knows it. Here's where the science makes this even more powerful. Research on human and dog interaction has found that physical contact between a dog and their bonded owner triggers the release of oxytocin in both of them simultaneously. The bonding hormone, the same chemical your brain releases during a hug between humans. Your dog's paw on your leg is not just a gesture, it is a biological event, in both of you, at the same time. But here's what makes this even more fascinating. Studies on dog behavior have found that dogs who are deeply bonded to their owners use touch more deliberately and more frequently than dogs with weaker bonds. They have learned, through experience, that physical contact with their owner produces a positive response, in you and in them. Your dog puts their paw on you partly because it feels good to them too. That warmth they feel when you respond, that connection that passes between you in that quiet moment. They came back for that feeling, again and again and again, and every time you responded, every time you looked down, said their name, put your hand on theirs, you taught them that reaching out to you always works, that you're always worth reaching for. If this is landing differently than you expected, hit the like button and subscribe. We post every week for dog owners who want to understand what their dogs are really saying. 3. Where they place their paw tells you exactly what they're feeling. Not every paw placement is saying the same thing. Once you know how to read the difference, you'll understand your dog on a completely new level. The gentle single paw on your leg, soft, almost hesitant, is a question. They're checking in, making sure you're still there, still present, still theirs. This is your dog at their most quietly vulnerable. The firm two-pawed press, both front paws on you, weight forward, that's urgency. Something shifted in their world and they need you to notice. They're not being dramatic, something feels wrong to them and you are the only one who can make it right. The paw on your hand specifically, placed right on top of whatever you're holding or doing, that's redirection. Your dog has decided you've been somewhere else long enough. On your phone, on your laptop, somewhere they can't reach. And they are physically, deliberately pulling you back. The paw combined with eye contact, placed and then held while they stare directly at you. That is the most intentional version of all. Your dog is not just touching you. They are demanding to be seen, fully, right now, by you. And then there's the paw placed and then left, where they put it on you and look away. That one is the most tender. They don't need a response. They just needed you to feel them there. That's your dog saying, "I just wanted you to know I'm with you." 4. Your dog paws at you more when you need it most, and that's not coincidence. Have you ever noticed that your dog seems to put their paw on you more on hard days? When you're stressed, tired, or quietly struggling, that is not your imagination. Dogs are extraordinarily sensitive to the emotional state of the people they love. Your body language shifts when you're upset. Your breathing changes. Your movements slow. The chemical signals your body produces under stress are subtle to humans but unmistakable to a dog. And when your dog detects those signals in you, their response is to move closer, to make contact, to put themselves physically between you and whatever is wrong. They cannot fix what's hurting you. They know that. But they can reach out. They can place their paw on you and say, "I feel that something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going anywhere." That paw in your hardest moments is not your dog being needy. That paw is your dog choosing to sit with you in your pain because leaving you alone in it is simply not something they are willing to do. 5. How you respond to the paw matters more than you think. Every time your dog puts their paw on you, you're teaching them something with your response, whether you realize it or not. When you look down, make eye contact and acknowledge them, even briefly. You're telling them their reach was worth it, that communication works, that you are someone who responds when they call. Over time, this builds something profound. A dog who knows their signals are heard becomes a calmer, more secure, more confident animal. They don't need to escalate to barking or destructive behavior to get your attention, because the paw always works. But when the paw is consistently ignored, pushed off, brushed away without acknowledgement, something quieter and sadder happens. Your dog doesn't stop trying immediately. They try harder first. More pause, more urgency, more pressure, and then slowly they stop. Not because they stopped caring, but because they learned that reaching out doesn't work, that you aren't someone who responds when they call. You never want your dog to learn that lesson. So the next time that paw lands on you, even if you're busy, even if the timing's bad, take 3 seconds, look at them, say their name, put your hand on theirs. 3 seconds. That's all it costs. And to your dog, it means everything. 6. When they stop putting their paw on you, that's when you should worry. A dog who used to reach for you and suddenly stops is a dog whose world has shifted, and it's worth paying attention to why. Sometimes it's physical. A dog in pain guards their body carefully. Lifting a paw and holding it extended becomes uncomfortable, then impossible. If your dog suddenly stops this behavior, especially an older dog, a vet visit is worth considering. Sometimes it's emotional. A dog who has been consistently ignored when they reached out eventually stops reaching. They didn't stop loving you. They just stopped believing the reach would be answered. And sometimes it's something in between. A change in your energy, your routine, your presence in their life. Dogs are mirrors. When something shifts in you, it shifts in them too. But here is what matters most. Think about every time that paw found you. Every quiet evening, every hard day, every moment when you weren't even thinking about your dog and suddenly, there it was. Warm, gentle, deliberate. Your dog looked at you across whatever distance existed between you and decided to close it. Not because you asked, not because they had to, not because they wanted anything in return, because you were there and they love you. And in their world, those two things together always lead to the same place. A paw on you, saying the only thing they know how to say. I'm here, I chose you, I'd choose you again, every single time.